to Do You Know Your Substances? Today our contestants are Maddie and Jessica. Question number 1. What is more dense, water or vinegar?
Jessica, vinegar.
Correct! 1 point for Jessica Lee. We have a special guest scientist to prove these girls' answers. Here is Kayla Javadifar.
Introduced previously, I'm the guest scientist, Kayla, which is about to show you which is more dense, water or vinegar.
In this test tube, I have a tube of vinegar, and in this one, I have water. What I'm going to be showing you is how to use the hydrometer at first, so we can find out which liquid is more dense, vinegar or water. Hydrometer. It is made up of a straw, clay, into each of the liquids. We will find out which substance is more dense, vinegar or water. Because the thicker the liquid is, the more dense it is. The more dense means that it's going to stay up more. This is because the particles of the liquid or substance are closer together, so it's harder for objects to pass through it. So, if it's higher, this means that the liquid is more dense because the particles are so close together that it won't let it go through. But if it's less dense, that means that the particles of the substance/liquid are farther apart, so it's easier for an object to pass through it. It means that if it's less dense, it's going to sink down more. The markings mean that this is the marking for water and this is the marking for vinegar. The marking for water shows that the water is less dense because the water sank in more and the vinegar didn't. It shows that it's less dense because in the water the particles are farther apart, so it let the object pass through more and sink in more. But the vinegar is more dense because the particles of the vinegar are closer together, so it didn't let the object pass in that much. Jessica's statement was correct.
Good job, Jessica. Number 2. Which substance is more dense, corn oil or olive oil?
Corn oil.
1 point for Maddie Perkins!
Now, to see if Maddie's observation was correct, this is the corn oil and this is the olive oil. To see which one is more dense, we will have to put this hydrometer inside both of them and take them over. Now this was the measurement for the corn oil. Here that Maddie's statement was correct because this is the marking for the corn oil and this is the marking for the olive oil. So this shows that the corn oil is more dense than the olive oil.
Question number 3. Which substance is more dense, soy sauce or vinegar?
Soy sauce.
Correct! 1 point for Jessica Lee!
As a special surprise on this show, I will be giving the host, Rachael, Moncrieffe, a chance to do the experiments and see if she can figure out what to do. So, Rachael, what will you be doing for us?
So I'll be showing you which one is more dense, soy sauce or vinegar.
Okay, here's my lab coat. Ready?
To make an analysis on which liquid, the vinegar or the soy sauce, is going to be more dense, I'm going to put this hydrometer into both of these liquids so I can determine. So this marking over here is the marking for the soy sauce, and as predicted, the soy sauce is more dense, which it is more dense because it sunk less into the liquid. And here is the vinegar, which is the less dense liquid, and it is less dense because the particles are more spread apart, giving it more space to sink in. Let's get back to the contestants. Now for the bonus question of the day. What is a hydrometer?
A hydrometer is a meter that hydros.
That was wrong.
So, Jessica's answer was not exactly correct. So, a hydrometer is definitely not a meter that hydros, but I can tell you what a hydrometer actually is. A hydrometer is an instrument that's used to compare substances and liquids, usually to water.
The hydrometer that we use today didn't exactly compare it to water. Usually they have the markings on the hydrometer, but we have a straw. So usually the middle of the hydrometer is supposed to say 1, which is the density of water. So you can see if it's less dense or more dense than the water. But in this case, we're just using the hydrometer to compare different substances and their density.
So, second place is Maddie Perkins. For first place, Jessica Lee. Well, that's too bad. See you next time. Her high score.
She's at 4. You guys? Hi.
Ask me to the.
Such a nambot. I look so